If you want Stone Cold Steve Austin to take a piece of Mike Tyson's ass, give me a hell yeah. Yeah. Welcome back to Fog Wrestling. Tried to roll it off the tongue there, it didn't work, but it's WWF Raw is War. 19th of January, 1998, and what an edition of WWE Raw we have got here. Mike Tyson and Austin face to face. We've got the aftermath of the 1998 Royal Rumble, where Shawn Michaels defeated Undertaker in a casket match. Kane set Undertaker on fire inside the casket. Austin won the Rumble. Tyson's in the cheap seats, ripping up WCW. Well, I say cheap seats, the most expensive seats, ripping up WCW signs. Dude Love, Cactus Jack, and Mankind have all appeared in the same Rumble. We've got Chainsaw Charlie. We've got so much going on. We got the New Age Outlaws. It was great, so let's get into it. Yeah, Mike Tyson Raw. Brilliant. Absolutely. I mean, what is not to love about tonight's show? But we're in Fresno, California. This show is dedicated to Yanwita McMahon. I don't know which McMahon she is, but she was like, I think she was like 84 or something here. Something along that lines. Obviously this was 98, so she wasn't. I mean, if she was alive now, she'd be like well into her. She'd be like closer to 110, wouldn't she? Sure, fuck, she'd be about 110. But the show begins. Michael Cole is narrating a video package recapping that we thought Kane and Undertaker had put differences to one side, but no. Kane turned on Undertaker at the Rumble, set him on fire. We might get some footage where Undertaker is, who knows. We then got the classic opening of Raw, down, get away. You got the warehouse Austin, and they get the fireworks going off, man, the barrels. What's not to love? Paul Bear comes out. He's like, Undertaker, me and your baby brother Kane screwed you. It was a ruse, Undertaker. We planned it from the beginning to lure you into our trap, Undertaker. He went in a wee bit. I think this lasted just a ball hair too long. The casket comes out, and it's Kane. Dun. Fireworks, boom. And then it was hyped up later on tonight by JR. We've got a major announcement from Mike Tyson, while Stone Cold Steve Austin will also be here. Then we have Shawn Michaels, Triple H, and Chyna backstage talking about how they cost Owen Hart the Rumble match. Shawn's like, I'm so sorry what happened to The Undertaker. We are going to go out of our way tonight and try and find him and make sure he's alright, which is kind of funny. Opening match, we get the Disciples of Apocalypse. You may know them as DOA. You may know them as Poundland Sons of Anarchy. Hell, Poundland fucking Aces and Eights. We've got 8 Ball, Skull, and Chains. This is at a time period where you just put the letter C, or said, sorry, at the end of some guy's name, and it just worked. They're taking on the Nation of Domination, consisting of D'Lo Brown, Cameron Mustafa, and Farouk. So, yeah, I mean, this, you get a biker gang taking on militant-esque black men in America. I mean, this is 3 big white guys, 3 big black guys, brawling the absolute fuck out of each other. I mean, yeah, I like this match. No complaints for me. Ends in a double DQ. I get it. 6 guys brawling. Why is it a double DQ? Again, I would have just fucking. I mean, at this point, I say at this point, I don't think the DEA, Drug Enforcement Agency. I don't think the DOA were all that, massive. I don't see really the reason why the Nation can't defeat them, but it is what it is. It was pretty fun. Mark Henry and The Rock come down, but then Ken Shamrock and Ahmed Johnson come out. They make the save. Rock and Shamrock have a pretty good back and forth, and then The Rock bails. Then we got a Thick Venom advert, which is obviously Vince Russo, his alter ego. He talks like, yeah, Monday Night Raw magazine. We gotta sell the magazine, bro. I gotta be in this. I think Vince Russo's got enough charisma, man. His WCW run proves that. I like this. A horse then pulls up. What's going on here? Mark Meadow with Sable takes on Tom Brandy. Obviously, Mark Merrill picks up the win, but the whole story here is that Mark Merrill does not want Sable coming out with being half naked, so he has to put his robe round her. Boo! We don't want that. But yeah, hits the TKO, the technical knockout, and Mark Merrill picks up the 1, 2, 3. DX then go up to the hearse, but then it just feels like a bunch of a bunch of babes jump out, they hug them, they're all kissing. China rolls her eyes, it's kind of funny. We then got the PlayStation Slam of the Week brought to us by Bushido Blade. So yeah, the PlayStation one. How great is this? And it was Fader hitting the artist formerly known as Goldust, a big splash off the second rope. Mike Tyson then rocks up in a limo. Match 3, we've got the Quebecers taking on Cactus Jack and Chainsaw Charlie. Now what I would say, right, about this match is, I think, even though 98, right, and most of 99 is probably what people consider like peak Attitude Era. For me, I've always preferred late 99, for about mid 99 all the way to, I mean, people want to say Maniac 7, or I can say, like Survivor Series 2001, right? Because to me that was also a definitive ending as well to a degree. But the roster at this point, it does still have, I mean, there's gimmicks, but there is quite a lot of jobbers on it. And by jobbers, I mean, we don't have the likes of Guerrero, Jericho, Benoit, the Dudleys. I mean, the Hardys at this point are not the Hardys we would know them to be. Same way Edge and Christian, they're not here. There's a lot of guys, we don't have the Godfather yet. There's a lot of guys missing from this roster. And obviously at the same time you do lose a few people, like Shawn Michaels will be away soon, obviously. They've just lost Bret Hart, but for me, I prefer the Attitude Era roster a little bit into the future. But yeah, I like seeing Cactus Jack and Chainsaw Charlie winners by DQ. The Quebecers, what is going on here? Mandible Claw and the ref tells them to get off. They're both battering. A little bit weird there. It was funny. It was entertaining. Just seeing Cactus Jack and Chainsaw Charlie. It was brilliant, man. That's what I'm talking about. But the brawl continues. I think we're getting this big hardcore thing. But then this doesn't really go anywhere because they'll be taking on the New Age Outlaws soon enough. Because I did watch the next episode. Didn't even mean to watch. No, this just shows you how good wrestling was back in the day. I watched this episode, right, like a week ago. But when you're listening to this, fuck, it could be like 3-4 weeks ago. And then like the 26th of January episode came on, and like I didn't plan on watching it, but it just came on, and like it was like the first 10 minutes were that good. I just found, fuck it, I'll just watch it, and I did. So I mean, you would not do that with wrestling. DX are looking for the Undertaker, and they start picking on the Mexican minis, and it's so frustrating seeing how good the likes of Shawn Michaels and Triple H used to be, and seeing what they're like in modern day wrestling. It's actually kind of fucking, it's petrifying to see how people can be so good but then go to so much shite. Match 4, NWA North American title, Jeff Jarrett with Jim Cornette, Ricky Morton, Robert Gibson versus Blackjack Bradshaw. Decent match, but of course what happens in the end, Jeff Jarrett wins, distraction, and then what happens is Wyndham turns heel and joins the NWA guys. Brilliant. DX, meanwhile, they're still backstage. Mike Tyson is meeting a bunch of jobbers. Well, I say a bunch of like the road agents, the guys that would run out for security, yada yada yada. DX, we still can't find the Undertaker. Then the room goes dark. What the fuck's going on? Then we get a Dr. Martin Luther King tribute. Yeah, Vince McMahon, he loved Martin Luther King. See the guy that badmouthed him backstage? Fucking got slapped out the door and cheerio. Booker T's confirmed that, so McMahon, you don't mess with people McMahon likes, or he'll fuck you up the ass. But then got the intro. This is the beginning of the second arc. All together now, yeah, down, 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 now the darkness wrong, down together now. Anyway, Jerry Lawler's out there. I always preferred it when it was King and JR, obviously. Not that Kevin Kelly, Michael Cole, and JR do a bad job, but King's king at the end of the day. Undertaker's music hits, but it's the second fake out of the night because it's Shawn Michaels. They get a barbecue in the ring. Michaels got a small cock, a small sausage. Triple H got like a medium-sized sausage, but Chyna's got the biggest one of the lot. Next week, Triple H is like, Owen Hart, why don't you take me on? Then he talks about Michaels talks about Austin. He's like, that guy won the Royal Rumble. It changes tune. Yeah. Which is, I mean, he does say, he's like, Space Mountain is old and broken down. Obviously, a few years later, they would change their tune straight on that. But Michaels kind of went on and on here about Austin, but it was still a good promo. He talks about how he owns the mountain and that Austin's going to have to climb it. WWF title's the last mountain you need to climb, Stone Cold. But guess what? I'm at the top and I ain't going nowhere. It was funny. But yeah, Austin versus Michaels. It cut the mustard for me. It did the job it needed to do. Mike Tyson met the Road Warriors and Sonny backstage. Yeah, Sonny and Mike Tyson to our body count here. Los Boicos, Miguel Jose Jesus and Savio take on Owen Hart and Taka Michinoku and the Headbangers. Honky Tonk Man doing commentary. Yeah, Honky Tonk Man just feels... See, by 98, like, the Honky Tonk Man is outdated and no longer required. And I think there's a few people, especially in the early days of the Attitude Era, where they just don't really suit it. And Honky Tonk Man's definitely one of them. But Owen Hart at this point is reeling from the effects of the Montreal Screwjob. Team Owen wins. But yeah, Owen wins. Guess he'll fucking have to take it. But he accepts Triple H's challenge for next week. Mike Tyson is then talking to the Nation of Domination. They look like they're trying to recruit him. I mean, the Nation of Domination had some star power enough. Imagine you fucking add Mike Tyson to the mix. That'd been brilliant. Match 6, The Rock versus Ahmed Johnson, WWF Intercontinental Championship match. I mean, it was alright, but it was far too short. But who cares? That's the Attitude Era, man. Fast-paced action. I'm all for it. The Rock wins because Mark Henry cracks Ahmed Johnson with a chair. Rock bottom. 1, 2, 3. Ken Shamrock comes down, batters everybody, chases the heels off. Him and Ahmed Johnson stand tall. Mike Tyson then meets Cactus Jack and Chainsaw Charlie. Holy fuck. What is going on? He then meets DX backstage. Mike Tyson. I mean, this is how you get viewership, man, right? See, if you've got a draw like Mike Tyson was in the 90s, this is how you use him on TV. He's literally been in about fucking 15 different segments tonight. And that's without even getting to the main event one. But our main event in terms of matches was the tag titles on the line. New Age Outlaws, Road Dogg and Billy Gunn taking on the Godwins. Yeah, I mean, I think by this point in 98, the Godwins are a bit mince, but New Age Outlaws win. Fair enough. Then he finds a brick in the stuffed pig, which was kind of funny. I tell you what, man. Macho Man. JR teasing Macho Man. Macho Man did not come back to the company. Anyway, it's time for Mike Tyson. My man comes out. He's like, Mike Tyson, I hear you've been a WWF fan your whole life. Yeah, man. I love Nikolai Volkov and Bruno Sammartino, man. The man. Puts over how Mike Tyson is going to be at WrestleMania and it's going to be great. He wants a piece of that action. Austin comes out, what? This is my ring. Yeah, I'll give you your flowers, kid, for what you done in the boxing ring, but this is Stone Cold Steve Austin's ring. I ain't shaking your hand. I don't like the way you're shaking everyone's hand in my business, in my ring, and I want a piece of your ass. And he's like, then he says, I got a little bit of sign language to show you what I feel about you. Middle fingers. It's Austin and Tyson. It's Tyson and Austin. JR selling the fuck out of it. King selling the fuck out of it. Big brawl between Tyson, security, the WWF officials and Austin. They're all brawling. McMahon is just fucking screaming at Austin, you fucking ruined it. McMahon is trying to kick Austin. The show's brilliant. Just fucking goes off the air with McMahon screaming at Austin. Tyson and Austin. What is not to love, man? And it's like also just planting extra seeds for Austin and McMahon's feud. And it's not the turning point in the war by any point, because they wouldn't officially beat like WCW consistently until like way in the future from this point, but it's another massive stride and leap forward that the WWE needed at the time. Anyway, that is it for the 19th of January 1998 Raw edition. Mike Tyson and Austin. What is not to fucking love? I will give this episode. I mean, it's not the greatest episode ever, right? It's not consistently like unreal, but you've got one of the most iconic moments ever. You've got DX being funny as hell. You've got the pish getting ripped out of Taker at every hurdle. Some decent matches, some big guys, some decent moments. Mike Tyson throughout. I'm gonna get an 8 out of 10. A really, really good Raw. Really great Raw.